The world demands you be seen. It screams for your transparency, your authenticity, your constant broadcast. Post, share, engage, reveal, and you do. You perform the required dances, display the curated vulnerabilities, offer up your triumphs and your carefully filtered defeats. You feel the exhausting pressure to be understood, to be liked, to prove your worth in a never-ending feed. And deep inside, you suspect it's a trap. A silent, invisible cage built from the very desire to connect. You feel a hollowness, a dull ache that tells you the rules you're playing by are not the rules that lead to victory. You see others, seemingly effortless, glide through the social currents, commanding attention, respect, or fear, without ever showing their full hand. And you wonder, what do they know that you don't? What forbidden truths allow them to move through this world like shadows among the blinding lights? The truth is, while you are busy constructing your public persona, painstakingly proving your value, the true architects of power are cultivating something else entirely. They are mastering the art of the hidden mechanism. They understand that power isn't about what you project, it's about what you control. And control begins with the deliberate manipulation of perception, the careful withholding of information, the strategic cultivation of the unknown. They operate not on the stage, but from the wings, pulling threads you never even knew were there. This is not about being evil. It's about being effective. Machiavelli knew this. He saw the naked truth of human nature stripped bare of its pious illusions. He understood that men judge more by the eye than by the hand. They see what you appear to be. Few experience what you truly are. And in an age obsessed with the unfiltered self, this ancient wisdom is a sharper blade than ever before. Rule 1. Embrace the ghost. Everyone today rushes to be seen, to flash their credentials, to loudly stake their claim in the digital arena. They mistake visibility for power, believing that if they are known, they are strong. They chase the spotlight, desperate for validation, for the fleeting warmth of public affirmation. This is where you become dangerous. You let them underestimate you. You walk into the room not to dominate, but to observe. You speak only when silence has made others uneasy, when your voice becomes a sudden, unexpected force. You become the quiet observer, the one who poses no immediate threat. Let them think you are small, harmless, easily dismissed. Let them believe you are a minor character in their grand narrative. This calculated invisibility is a shield. It draws no attention, no envy, no preemptive strikes. It allows others to expose their strategies, their weaknesses, their true desires, believing you are too insignificant to matter. It lets them drop their guard. Robert Greene understood this. Never outshine the master, but also, never telegraph your true strength. They will never see the blade until it is already at their throat. Rule 2. The serpent's smile. In a world drowning in data, truth is often irrelevant. Perception is currency. People don't seek facts. They seek narratives that confirm their existing biases or offer a comfortable illusion. Integrity is a quaint relic, trotted out for public sermons, while behind the curtain, belief is manufactured. So you don't waste time proving your integrity. You build illusions. You cultivate a charm that disarms, a likability that dissolves suspicion. You smile, you nod, you offer agreeable words, all while planting seeds of misdirection. You allow others to crown you the hero, to believe you are on their side, to trust your apparent goodwill. Machiavelli himself stated, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." This isn't about being good. It's about being believed as good. It's about weaving a tapestry of surface pleasantries that distracts from the deeper, more complex machinations beneath. You don't correct their comforting misapprehensions about you. You exploit them. A sweet poison works best when delivered with a kiss. Rule 3. Cultivate the enigma. Most people crave clarity. They spend their lives trying to be understood, to explain their intentions, to ensure their message is received precisely as intended. This desperate need to be known makes them predictable. It makes them controllable. You will do the opposite. You will become a puzzle. One day, you are cold, detached. The next, surprisingly generous. Sometimes you are a wall of silence. Other times, a sudden burst of intense insight. You are not confused. They are. This ambiguity is a deliberate weapon. When people cannot define you, they fixate on you. They study every word, every gesture, over-interpreting your silences, trying to fit you into a category that doesn't exist. Confusion breeds obsession. Obsession breeds focus. Focus breeds influence. Carl Jung spoke of the shadow, the unknown depths of the psyche. You make your shadow visible, but only in glimpses, hinting at complexity that draws people into your orbit. They will spend their energy trying to understand you, instead of trying to outmaneuver you. Rule 4. The hidden hand. In an age of constant broadcasting, every move you make, every project you initiate, every ambition you declare, becomes public fodder. The moment people see your intention, they begin to prepare their counter-moves. They form alliances. They build narratives against you. They set traps. You will become transparent in output, opaque in input. You allow the world to see the final product, the accomplished feat, the undeniable result. But the mechanisms, the strategies, the long hours of planning, the ruthless decisions, these remain hidden. You guard your factory while letting the finished goods appear as if from nowhere. Let them think you are slow. Let them think you are resting. Then, you pass them by with a silence they never prepared for. A prince, Machiavelli wrote, must always be prepared to act against loyalty, against charity, against humanity, against religion, to preserve the state. Translated for your world. Appear noble, move ruthlessly. They will stare at the mountain, never knowing how the tunnels were dug. Rule 5. The calculated crack. Perfection is sterile. It is forgettable. The flawless facade inspires admiration, but rarely obsession. People do not obsess over what they fully understand. They chase what is just out of reach, what hints at deeper, darker truths. You build a mask, poised, intelligent, calm. Then, just once, you let it fracture. A controlled imperfection, a sharp word that reveals an unexpected edge. A sudden, calculated vulnerability that humanizes you in a terrifying way. A flash of insight that suggests you are far deeper, more dangerous than they realized. This is not about true vulnerability, but controlled revelation. It offers a glimpse of the abyss. They become hooked. They saw the mask slip, just for a moment, and now they need to know what lies beneath. They will spend years trying to uncover the hidden truth, chasing the 10% you deliberately withheld. They won't forget you, not because they loved the mask, but because they saw it tremble. Rule 6. Silence as a weapon. The incessant talker reveals everything. Their weaknesses, their need for validation, their fear of being misunderstood, their emotional dependency on clarity. They fill every silence, expose every thought, leaving no room for mystery, no space for projection. You will say less than necessary. Always. You speak with precision. 2 sentences, perhaps. Then, you stop. You let the silence expand, heavy and pregnant with unsaid implications. In negotiations, in disagreements, in moments of tension, your brevity becomes a challenge. You offer no explanation, no justification, no attempt to clarify. You simply state, and then you wait. This is where the fear begins. What do you know? Why aren't you reacting? What are you planning? They will fill that silence with their own anxieties, their own dark projections. Milgram's experiments showed how easily people submit to perceived authority, and few things project authority like the quiet confidence of withheld information. You say nothing, but they write an entire novel in their heads, and you are the silent, unyielding antagonist they cannot outmaneuver. Mystery, true mystery, is forged in the space between words. ### Rule 7. The shifting sands of allegiance. In a world that demands clear sides, unwavering loyalty, and public declarations of alliance, people are desperate to categorize you. Friend or foe, ally or rival, they seek the comfort of knowing where everyone stands. You will deny them that comfort. You will blur the line. One day, you offer support to an unexpected quarter, creating an unspoken obligation. The next, you distance yourself from a once close associate, signaling an independence that unsettles. You never fully commit to any faction, never declare absolute loyalty that could be exploited. This isn't betrayal, it's self-preservation. You become a wild card, a force that cannot be fully predicted, and therefore cannot be fully controlled. Your alliances are fluid, tactical, and always subject to reevaluation. This keeps others off balance, unsure of your true intentions, always seeking your favor, always wary of your potential opposition. You become the pivot point, not the pawn. You feel the unsettling truth of this. The cold logic of power. The understanding that the world is not fair, and those who thrive rarely play by the rules preached in polite society. You have felt the sting of transparency, the weakness of being too open. Now, you hold a different kind of knowledge. This is not a path to happiness. It is a path to competence. It is the forbidden reframe. The world does not reward the virtuous, it rewards the effective. Authenticity is a luxury for the powerless. The true masters of the game are those who wield illusion and silence as their sharpest tools. Your discomfort is the price of admission. ###. ###. The 7-day observation. For the next 7 days, you will not act. You will observe. You will experiment with the passive application of these principles, turning them into a mirror for yourself and others. 1. Observe the oversharers. ****. Notice how much information people willingly give away. Pay attention to those who constantly explain, justify, or seek validation through words. What weaknesses do they reveal? 2. Practice strategic silence. ****. In conversations, especially those where others expect you to contribute, deliberately pause. Allow the silence to hang. Observe who fills it, how quickly they do, and what they reveal in their haste. 3. Become the listener. ****. For a full day, make it your mission to listen more than you speak. Ask open-ended questions. Nod. Observe. Let others explain themselves completely. Resist the urge to interrupt or offer your own opinion. 4. Analyze public personas. ****. Look at figures of authority or influence, online and offline. Identify the mask they wear. What do they want you to believe about them? What do they carefully hide? 5. Withhold explanation. ****. When asked a question that would normally lead to a long explanation, give only the bare minimum answer. Do not elaborate. Notice the reaction. Curiosity, frustration, projection. 6. Find the ambiguity. Identify instances where powerful individuals or organizations deliberately use ambiguous language or actions. How does this make you feel? How does it influence your perception of them? 7. Witness underestimation. Observe situations where someone is dismissed or overlooked. Then, track their subsequent actions. Does their perceived weakness become their strength? Where do others drop their guard? This is not about becoming a manipulative puppet master overnight. It's about seeing the threads that already exist. It's about understanding the game, so you are no longer merely a piece on the board.